Psalms 27 and 1, a psalm of David. The Lord, Yahawashi, is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord, Yahawashi, is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? I'd like to start off by giving all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahawashi, Ba'ashem Rachak. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, blessing, and safety to all the Akim that pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth, and to the hopeful elect scattered, to the sincere believers, to all the brothers out there, may the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahshai comfort you and be with you, especially as we gear up for trialing times. So this is the brother Hadabia from the GMS Toronto camp. I don't know if I said that already. And Yahawashi is the light. He is our light in a world that is consumed of darkness. Darkness, wickedness. A world full of many distractions, just confusion in every way you look, and it is by the grace and mercy that we have, the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahawashi, working with us, to guide us, to comfort us in this darkness, because these people out here, these Jakes, they're in darkness. They don't have Yahawashi guiding them and making that way, making that path to salvation, and a lot of Jakes are just stubborn, they like the darkness, or a lot of them, it's just not meant for them. But Yahawashi is that light. He is that light. He's that light that shines bright. That shines bright, because without Yahawashi, you're through. You're through and you're lost. And us of the hopeful elect that have been blessed enough to receive that light, we hold on it for dear life. We never want that light to go out. We never want it to go out. We don't want to know what it feels like to be without it, to be without Yahawashi, to be without the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahawashi. So let me read this again. Psalms 27 and 1, a psalm of David. The Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahawashi, is my light, my salvation. Whom shall I fear? That's the thing. When you're in this thing of ours, like the Apostle Gabar always says, there's nothing for us to fear. We're servants of the Lord. We believe in Him, and we put all trust, hope, and faith in Him. And for that reason, there's nothing to be afraid of, because He's that light. He's that light that is going to come through for us every single time. My light of salvation, whom shall I fear? The Lord Yahweh Shem Yahawashi is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? He strengthens us, every single day, because it's not easy. It's not easy it's not easy to serve the Lord. Because if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. You know, it 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 you got you're gonna be tested. You can't be weak. Even though this flesh is weak, the spirit has to be even stronger. To overcome this flesh. You know, and that's why Yahushua is so important. That's why his sacrifice. That's why he came here. That's why the Father sent him, Yahweh, as that sacrifice to be that light that we so desperately need. You know, that we so desperately need, and especially now. In a society that has never been as wicked as it is now. We were talking about it yesterday. After camp with the brothers, and just the way wickedness is glorified, now, not like never before, like never before. This is John chapter 8 verse 12 in the NLT, and you can see the heading, Yahawashi, the light of the world. Yahawashi spoke to the people once more and said, I am the light of the world. If you follow me, you won't have to walk in darkness, because you will have the light that leads to life. That leads to eternal life. You know, that's what Yahawashi represents. He represents that salvation, that light, that path, of light that leads, to forever peace. To forever be good. I am the light of the world. If you follow me, you won't have to walk in darkness, because you will have the light that leads to life. The Pharisees replied, you are making those claims about yourself. Such testimony is not valid. And that's the thing. We're out there, warning our people, telling our people that Yahushua, he's the only way. He's the only way to salvation. But they don't want to believe. And just like when Yahushua walked the earth, they didn't want to believe him. They didn't want to believe in this testimony. They didn't want to believe that he was sent. Just like how now people don't want to believe that, starting off with our apostles and on down, that they have been sent. They have been sent from Yahawashi Yahushua to push the word, to preach the word. If it wasn't for the apostles and the elders, we wouldn't know this truth. They've through the spirit of Yahawashi Yahushua, they're doing their duty. And through the elders, through the apostles and the elders and bishops and pros and everyone on down, is why, this light, it shines so bright. This word, this message that we're pushing forth about Yahawashi, about how important he is, about what he expects us, from us, and about what he is coming to do, because he's gonna return. Best believe he's gonna return, and when he returns, he's not gonna be, he's not gonna be in a good mood. Okay, he's gonna let his fury loose upon this world. Verse 14, Yahushua told them, these claims are valid even though I make them about myself, for I know where I came from and where I am going, but you do not know this about me. So that was the point. You know, he was sent. He was sent from the Father to be that light. You know, that light that we need. That we need it, because I remember. I remember what it was like to, before the truth. I don't ever want to go back to that feeling of just being lost, thinking that you know everything, but you don't know shit. You know, and then once Yahawashi starts dealing with you and working with you and building you up, it's you no longer feel in darkness. You no longer feel lost. Because the way has been lit. The path has been lit through Yahawashi. And now we know what we got to do in order to receive that life. That everlasting life. We know what we got to go through. We read what Yahawashi went through. We read about what our forefathers went through. The prophets of old, and we got to go through those same labors. We're gonna have to go through it, and we're gonna be comforted because we have the Ruach HaKodesh. Because we have the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai working within us, building us up, comforting us to be that light that we so desperately need. Because this world is ran by straight darkness, straight evil. Because that power was given through Yahweh. This is John chapter 9, verse 3. Yahawashi answered, neither has this man sinned. So this is going into the man that was born blind. Let me just start from the top. And as Yahawashi passed by, he saw a man which was blind from his birth. And his disciples asked him, saying, Master, who did sin, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? Yahawashi answered, neither hath this man sinned, nor his parents, but that the works of Yahweh should be made manifest in him. I must work the works of him that sent me while it is day, and the night cometh with no man can work. As long as I'm in the world, I am the light of the world. And the spirit is in the world. His spirit runs through his prophets. Because really and truly, the prophets are the ones who are the light of this world. Through the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And that's why, that's it's and that's why the angels are holding back those four winds. It's for the sake of the elect. Because the elect are the only ones pushing for that light. Giving all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai every single day. Giving glory to his name. Shouting out his name, making it be known, not switching up. And the world is getting ready to meet that light. That perfect light. That light that shines so bright and will never dim, will never go out. And we believe in that. We believe in Yahawashi. This is all we got. This is all we got. John 12, John 12 and 44 in the NLT, Yahawashi shouted to the crowds, "If you trust me, you are trusting not you are trusting not only me, but also Yahweh who sent me. For when you see me, you are seeing the one who sent me. I have come as a light to shine in this dark world." You know? And Yahawashi knew how dark this world was going to get. You know? It was dark then, and it's only darker now. You know? And you gotta be blind to see, to not see that. How wicked, how vexing this world is. You know? So that who put their trust in me will no longer remain in the dark. And we were lost. We were lost in the sauce. You know? We were in that black hole or that dark hole, whatever the proper term is, without no light. We're in that sinking place. and with and once Yahawashi started working with us, we came out of that place of darkness. We no longer feel lost, even though there's darkness all around us. Even though there's wickedness all around us, we see it, we feel it. We're always comforted, and sheltered and kept safe through Yahawashi. Verse 47, I will not judge those who hear me, but don't obey me, for I have come to save the world and not judge it. But all who reject me and my message will be judged on the day of judgment by the truth I have spoken. So all those who don't want to hear this word, who want to ignore it, turn a blind eye to it, are going to be judged, in one way, shape, or form, and things are going to get bad out here, things are shit now, but it's going to get a whole lot more dark, a whole lot more evil, and people are going to lose it. Jake is going to lose it, and Jake don't realize they're the target out here. And if and and because we have the light of Yahawashi, there's nothing for us to worry about when this darkness gets darker and really takes a hold of this place. We're going to be comforted, to get through it. And thus you got to believe it. We got to believe we're gonna believe that things are gonna happen that seem impossible. And that requires faith. That requires prayer. That we can make it through this dark time. That dark time. Jacob's trouble, our temptation. Because it's only gonna get worse from here on out. But there's no need for us to fret. There's no need for us to panic, because we have Yahawashi. That's all we need. We don't need no escape plan. We don't need no bunker. We don't need no doomsday kit. All we need is Yahweh Bashim Yahawashi. We gonna be good. You gotta believe it. You gotta truly believe it. And the only way you're gonna know if you believe it is when you go through it. It's a 2 Corinthians 4 in the G&T. Therefore, seeing we have this ministry, as we have received mercy, we faint not. Exactly. But have renounced the hidden things of dishonesty, not walking in craftiness, nor handling the world of not handling the word of Yahweh deceitfully, but by manifestation of truth, and commanding ourselves to every man's conscience in the sight of Yahweh. But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, in whom the power of this world had blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Mashiach, who is the image of Yahweh, should shine unto them. He's that light. Just backing up the point, Yahawashi is that light. This truth is that light. This knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is that light. For we preach not ourselves, but a Mashiach, Yahawashi, the Lord, and ourselves, your servants, for Yahawashi's sake. This is the point. For Yahweh, who commanded the light to shine out of darkness, has shined in our hearts to give the light of knowledge, of glory, of Yahweh in the face of Yahawashi, Hamashiach. He was sent. The Father sent it, and blessed, his elect, the prophets, with this knowledge, this enlightenment, that comforts us, and it's a blessing to have it, because a lot of people, like I said, they're blinded. They just don't see it. They just don't see it. It's either they don't see it because it's not meant for them, or they don't see it because they don't want to see it. But yeah, that's the point. Yahawashi is that light. He was sent. And he was sent for us. He was sent for his children. And to just be that light in a place full of darkness, in a world full of darkness. So I'd like to close out by giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahawashi, Ba'Hashem Ruach Kodash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace, blessing, and safety to all the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Lord willing, this was edifying, and until the next one, Shalom.